What's up, man? What's up? Hey, we ain't here on a Thursday, fellas. We ain't here on a Thursday, man.
Midday.
We got midday with it. We got Jaguars, man. Jaguars Bengals tonight, man. Should be a decent game, right? The Bengals are kind of Jekyll and Hyde. Jaguars are definitely just Hyde at this point. But yeah, man, we're hoping for a good game. What we got full breakdown for you over the next like 20 to 25 minutes. We'll have injury reports, everything you guys are needing. So just hang tight with us, and we'll get right into it. All right. So, how you guys feeling about the game tonight, man? What are you thinking?
Sick.
Dang, that's tough.
I mean, it's a Thursday night game, so anything can kind of go in those types of games. So,
Yep.
At least we're not playing
on a short week.
Yeah, at least we're not playing Derrick Henry. It should be a good matchup. I mean, the Bengals aren't too tough defensively. I think
That's a fact.
Offensively, we should be able to do some things, but that's easier said than done.
They were talking. They were talking today. I think NFL. Honestly, man, you could just tell like people who don't like cover the team, like they just kind of go off like this national like script. You know what I mean? Like they don't really know what's going on. But this is what I heard, so this is what I'll go with.
You would think the Jaguars were just pitiful, which I mean, coming as fans, we think they are. I mean, we're diehards, and we're gonna think hard on them. But,
right.
I mean, they're not horrible. They have pieces. It's just a matter of coming through.
That's the thing, man. They got pieces. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that injury report, or is it tough to see?
Yeah, a little bit. You have to zoom in a little bit.
Okay, let me see. How do I zoom in? Is it like F4?
I think you can zoom it on the screen through there, make it full screen.
Make it full? Okay. Well, I think damn it. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Got it.
But while you're doing that, I think unless the Jaguars got somebody to guard Jamar Chase, I think it's going to be tough. They have a really good receiving core with him. Tyler Boyd, who played well last week as well. So I think the Jaguars corners, if they don't come to play, Joe Burrow's going to have a day.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Is that better? Okay. All right. So let's see. So we got just to kind of check out the injury report. We got Josh Lambo. He's not playing. They said for personal reasons. They should have just cut him. But you got Roy Robertson Harris is going to be out this week. He was limited the whole week pretty much. On a short week, it's going to be tough for him to get in there. Trey Herndon, it sounds like he's going to make a debut. He's been out all season, right?
Yeah.
So far, okay. And then you got good to see Cam Robinson and Andrew Norwell ready to go for the game. So really, the Jaguars only have Robertson Harris, which is not a huge. I mean, he's decent, but it's not a huge loss. So I feel okay about that as far as the run game. And then you got Lambo, which I mean, he wasn't making kicks anyway. So let's move on to the Bengals. We got this is Wednesday's injury report, straight from Jaguars PR. So we got Jesse Bates is going to be out, so that's a big loss for them in the back end. Out with a neck injury. T. Higgins will be out. So really, if all they have to worry about is Chase and probably Tyler Boyd on the underneath routes.
But they get ate up on them.
Yeah, but I don't think Jamar Chase or T Higgins or not T Higgins, but what's the other guy? Boyd, right? I don't think they're any better than the receiver. I think they're not as good as the receivers we've seen in the last few weeks. Like, for the Sutton is good, bro. Sutton, any 6'4". Like, you're not gonna see Sutton every week. You're not gonna see who they have the week before. You had DeAndre Hopkins last week. You had Kirk, like they got weapons, and they did decent with, and and you got Kyler, right? You got to deal with Kyler. So I feel like last week they did good until they started turning the ball. Bro, they had the lead like late in the third quarter, like so they played good the whole game. It's just like when you want to win a game, bro, those late you get late in the game and you start making turnovers. Like the pick six was like, come on, bro, like that was an easy, you know what I mean? That was just a dumb fluky flea flicker play that just hurt them off the back, and then they just kind of snowballed after that. All you got to do is run the ball.
One of the best running back with Joe Mixon at the Jaguars have faced this season.
Joe Mixon,
Definitely the best running back.
they haven't had a problem stopping the run though with anybody. So I don't.
I think Joe Mixon is probably better than anybody that I've seen. What you got to stop? I mean, now that they kind of run the offense a little more through him, and then kind of take some shots downfield with Mixon, with having Chase. Chase, I think, already has 4 touchdowns through 3 games. So it's going to be it's definitely going to be a really good game.
What is it? Fuller, Dalvin Cook. Oh, I think they're talking about for fantasy
football, yeah.
Fuller, Dalvin Cook for AJ Green.
For me, I think the biggest thing is whoever runs the ball the best in this game will have a chance to win. I think you're going to have to run the football
Cook
well to really have a chance.
Trade. You get Cook, AJ
to succeed.
I think at this point that's a good trade, Charlie. I think that's a good trade, decent trade on your part if you're getting Cook. Anywho, but back to what you were saying about Mixon, right? They do use him a little bit differently. He is a factor in the passing game, so I think the Jaguars got to definitely watch out for screens. You got to watch out for. Thanks for tapping into, Charlie. We appreciate the interaction, brother. But yeah, I think if you're looking at it from that standpoint, that's probably what they'll have to do. Is they'll have to scheme him open. They'll have to scheme him open.
Yeah, he's gonna get about 20 touches. He's averaging about 20 touches a game. He's averaging about 80, 90 yards.
Yeah,
so far. So he's gonna. Yeah, that's your boy. That's how you beat me week 1.
I think there's no doubt about it that the offense runs through Joe Mixon right now. I think I've heard a couple different people say that. So if you can get him under control and you can kind of just put Miles Jack on him, if as far as those screens go or something like that. Miles his play has been up and down to me this year. Like I feel like he gets too focused on being overly aggressive sometimes.
He's too emotional.
Yeah, he gets too emotional. I don't like some of it. Just to round out the injury report, so you got Trey Waynes is actually going to be making his first start of the season tonight. He's going to be replacing Chidobe Awuzie on the outside. So we'll see. I mean, I think that's I'll take a Trey Waynes matchup with any one of our wide receivers, probably short of LaVisca. I mean, Trey to me is a nickel corner in the league, right? He's a nickel corner in the league. I think in college he played a lot on the outside and he had some success, but he's a nickel corner, so they're going to be playing him on the outside tonight. So I like DJ to have a pretty good game, get some openings, and their safety's out in the back end, so kind of their ball.
What kind of game are you trying to call? Like if you're Belton, or like are you coming out passing, or are you trying to run it?
You said, are we trying this week? This week, man. Honestly, I think you have to establish the run. There can be under no circumstance where you put the game on Trevor because he's going to get blitzed. Period. They're going to blitz him. So I think you have to establish the run, and you haven't had a problem. Listen, you haven't had a problem establishing the run. James Robinson is averaging over at least 5 yards a carry or over. And Carlos Hyde. Both of them, and Carlos Hyde is over 5 yards a carry.
And another big part, he finally got 15 carries, closer to 15 carries last week, right at 15.
Right.
15 carries, 88 yards, 5.9 to carry and a touchdown.
So you're not.
Something we talked touchdown last week is them not running the football enough, and that was really, to me, was what you saw in that game. The way it was a lower scoring game, they were able to stay in the game longer because you were able to establish the run. So I think that's a huge emphasis that they should come out with again. I think Logan Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, for the Bengals, leads the league in picks right now. So trying to throw the football on them isn't the best option. I definitely would try to establish a run, and then go play action and try to take a shot.
Cowboys at Carolina and the Dolphins at Indy. What do you guys think about this question? What are the defenses? Just to kind of off topic. Sorry about that, Charlie. We're actually getting into a little bit of the Bengals stuff. We could probably come back to. We'll come. Dolphins at Indy. Yeah, Desmond said he likes Dolphins at Indy. I like the Cowboys at Carolina.
I was looking at
I like the Cowboys under any. I like the Cowboys this year. New Orleans is a dub for New Orleans. Lions at Shy. I think that's a toss up. Chiefs at Philly. Chiefs at Philly. That's a toss up to me too because the Chiefs defense is terrible. But yeah. What were you saying, Desmond?
I think Marcus was jumping in with something.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just going to say back to that question.
Okay.
Offense was horrible.
Yeah. But I think just in reference to the Jags Bengals, I think you have to you got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball. Like I think they thought that Trevor Lawrence was immune to some of the rookie struggles, right? And he's not immune to the rookie struggles. Nobody is. This is the NFL. Run the football. I mean, you have a running game. There should be no reason why James Coleman or Carlos Hyde is not getting 20 to 25 carries a game, 30 carries a game. Control the clock, bro. Your team is keep your defense off the field. Control the clock. Time of possession. That's what all these teams have been doing to you. Time of possession. You're not getting the ball. So, and then you're putting your defense on the field in some awkward situations. You're not winning the field position game. So, I think overall, man, I think they're just getting out coached, Desmond. I mean, that's honestly my big opinion is like it's not players, it's not personnel. You're just getting out coached in situational football. So if they can get that cleaned up and just like wake up, I mean, it's coaching.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's really all the NFL is. Football is a simple game made complicated by coaches.
No problem, Charlie.
Appreciate you, Charlie. But yeah, football is a simple game made complicated by coaches, man. I mean, when you peel back all the extra stuff, is can you get more of your guys than their guys at the point of attack, no matter what it is, whether that's a passing game, a running game, offense or defense. And once you're able to do that, you're able to have success. And for me, the biggest thing is you can't expect Trevor Lawrence to come out here and be Andrew Luck which I think they thought he was going to be an Andrew Luck type of guy or Patrick Mahomes, somebody who had instant success. One, he doesn't have a veteran behind him.
Yeah, even Andrew Luck had a run game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a run game. You live off of play action. When you don't do that, and you think you're just going to be able to unleash him and let him throw it 40 times a game. That's never going to be the answer.
It's not going to happen.
You don't have it, and then he threw him right into the fire. He doesn't have anybody to learn from or sit from. A lot of these guys, other quarterbacks that have had really good success, sat for a little bit and then kind of jumped out there. Andrew Luck is probably the only one that jumped out right into the fire and was able to have immediate success. But I think, to me, that's because he was a different – I mean, he was born different with he had an NFL family. So I think once they transition that and they kind of be able to tweak that, I think that they'll have some success. Real quick, what about the C.J. Henderson trade? I thought that was a terrible trade.
I didn't like it. I mean,
nothing short of terrible.
So my perspective on that, man, is that you did all that to get a tight end, right? Well, at the same time, you did all that to get a tight end, but you got bro. Y'all know I was filming these guys over the summer. I was filming the Jaguars tight ends over the summer. They were working with Nate Peterman and a couple other and Blake Bortles and a couple other guys. I mean, they had tight ends, bro. Like, do y'all not want to develop the tight ends? I don't understand. O'Shaughnessy is a good pass catching tight end. You probably didn't use him as much as you should have. I think he had some drops like early in the season. Probably the first game that kind of made you maybe think you might have to go away from him. But you had Tyler Davis, who's on the Packers roster now. You got Ben Ellefson, who's on the Minnesota Vikings roster now, on their active roster. Like, you know what I mean? So it doesn't, to me, if other teams are taking your pass catching tight ends that you throw in the scrap heap and said that you had to go get a trade for, you're not willing to develop those guys, in my opinion.
Sure.
or somebody else saw something in them that wanted to give them a man on a place on the 53, right? So, I think it just goes back to what the Jaguars do, man. Bad personnel decisions. Everybody who they cut always Alan Lazard. You never gave Alan Lazard a chance to even play here.
Josh Oliver, who my Ravens traded for, Josh Oliver has been.
Now he's healthy.
You had him at the beginning of the season. You traded him.
I mean, if you wanted to tight end, you could have gone and got Zach Ertz for probably a 4th-round draft pick, to be honest.
Seriously.
And had a veteran tight end. Like, to me, if it looks like they want a veteran tight end who's a pass catcher can move a little bit. If you're going to do that, go get somebody like Zach Ertz who's had 100+ catches in multiple seasons. Go get somebody who can be dependable and who's done it, who understands how it needs to be done. Because I don't even think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Arnold was starting for the Panthers. So you go get a backup tight end in the 3rd-round pick for your 1st-round draft pick from last year.
Your number 9 overall pick.
Number 9. That's terrible roster management. I mean,
no. Yeah.
I can't think of the last time a 1st-round pick has been given up on within a year. That was the top 10.
I didn't think we should have drafted C.J. Henderson to begin with, just in my opinion.
I think the talent was there. I just don't think he was ever healthy.
Look how upset he was when he got drafted. Look at the look on his face when he got drafted. He didn't want to be here from day one. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was ugly from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. Yeah. But I think just bad personnel management, bro. You had tight ends on your roster. You had moved tight ends on your roster, and they were big enough to block. Tyler Davis was 6'6". Ellison was 6'5". I mean, both probably around 250. Like you had, you know what I mean? They're not like they're all bigger than O'Shaughnessy, and can probably still catch as good as him. Like him, he's a gadget player to me. He's a Trey Burton kind of player. You know what I mean? He's not an inline tight end. He's not gonna do all those things for you. So I just felt like you let guys walk who are gonna probably make money on other people's roster a few years from now. So
Josh Oliver's playing really well. He's had some big catches. Played really well in the Chiefs game. Almost scored. Almost had a touchdown as well as the Raiders game. So he's playing well, and I think also C.J. Henderson is going to play really well for the Panthers.
I agree.
Their scheme and the way that they play is more similar to like the Gators defense. So similar to what he's playing in college. That's an off man, be able to kind of see things developing in front of him from his own. And I think he's going to have a lot of success. So I'm rooting for him.
I will say that I do like Tyson Campbell. I do like the way he's played. I like how he played last game. I think he had maybe one mental lapse in that game, 1 or 2, but for the overall, he had tight coverage on AJ Green for the most part. I think AJ only had maybe 2 or 3 catches.
No, AJ had 100 yards.
Oh, AJ had 100.
Yeah, he had 100 yards.
Oh, okay. Oh, he had that one deep pass. Okay. Yeah. But other than that, he had tight coverage, man, for the most part. I like how he's coming along. I don't think he should have been starting right away. There's got to be a buffer there. I mean, you give him more reps, right? You give him more and more and more until the plate's full. But I don't think at this point he was ready. He's ready for that. Yeah.
With Trey Herndon out, and then CJ, and that situation. But I know you want to get to this video, but I just wanted to put this out there. I think the Jaguars are the Detroit Lions of this perhaps maybe generation. You know what I'm saying? It's just pure dysfunction.
Dang.
We saw that during the game where it's the last 10 out of 12 first-round picks have gone to their second contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's a real telling stat. We don't get free agents. Our team, no matter who the coach is, you know what I'm saying? I hate to be that Debbie Downer, but I think it should be said that I think we should come to that reality is that I think we're one of those franchises.
Yeah.
What sucks is just a few years ago, you were in the AFC Championship. So you go from AFC Championship to the number 1 overall pick in the span of 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And then you lose generational talents as well. Like Jalen Ramsey is a generational talent. You can't lose out on guys like that. You just
they still probably gonna try to put him in the Jaguars' pride, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't even gonna accept it.
Oh my gosh.
loss of quality talent, and players that you've had over the years that have just gone now. You just stuck. You missed on a lot of picks. I mean, maybe Taven Bryan turns into a guy, but outside of Taven Bryan, what's the most recent first round draft pick?
We're gonna pay for Josh.
That has turned out. I mean,
we're gonna overpay for Josh Allen just to keep him because he's not gonna be a $20 million edge rusher.
Much better at. And one of the things that I thought he did really nice job was getting through his progressions. I think I mentioned last week there was a couple plays where he did that, and this week he's doing it even more. I think one of the really good plays was the one that, where he started off to the left.
Can you hear what Darrell Bevel's saying?
Just plays like that where he's calm, he's patient, he gets through it, and is reading it out. Plays that he's improving on.
As a follow-up,
and if you're just joining us, man, this was Darrell Bevel's media availability on Tuesday, I believe.
See what Norwell did. I mean, can you explain how that was the right or wrong thing? Because to us, it looked like he was confused, but
yeah, he was not confused.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to give everything, but yeah, there's different styles of protections and things that you can use. And on that flea flicker, I know it was probably the big deal is he's running his whirly bird technique.
Shouldn't have called it.
And so he was doing it. He was doing it correct. We didn't do a very good job with the rest of the execution of it.
I think that play would have worked for them.
Was it more so the center had to come over for help, or was it more getting?
No, it's selling the play to the play to the right. So we all have to come harder on the right. But you got to have, sometimes it leaves issues on the backside. So you have the whirlybird that can pop out and come to the backside and help clean up protection. So we need to do a better job with getting the full flow look.
Protection on the interior. So that play was designed for somebody that blocked the interior rushing.
Yes.
Who would that would have been?
Well, all the other guys that were in there. Yep, all the other guys.
You guys were able to really establish a run in this most recent game. How beneficial is that for you as a play caller and then the offense in general to be able to know that you can do that from a game-to-game basis?
Yeah, it's been something that we've been trying to get established. And
so basically, this is just Darrell Bevel saying he's not really sure what's happening. He thinks everybody's doing a good job, but
run 8 plays and score a touchdown.
He doesn't get it.
Then we came out and ran it again. So I thought it was.
What I don't get is he's the one calling plays.
To be able to continue to work on.
My question is he the one calling plays? Because this Darrell Bevel is not the Darrell Bevel
as we've talked about.
I've seen.
Field, still had way too many 3-and-outs in this game, and
never threw that ball that much ever.
To emphasize that we have to. Make our plays when we get opportunity to make our plays.
I think he got pass happy when he got with Stafford last year.
Counts, you're in the red zone in that 2-minute hurry up situation. But when we've gotten down there, whether it was the preseason or something,
maybe he was trending down, man. Maybe that's why the Seahawks got rid of him, and that's why
I thought
the Lions didn't work out.
Best one. It had a really
sometimes coaches try to use players to get their next job. I think he wanted to come out and let Trevor turn it up and he be the hot name offensive coordinator. And it backfired. It's about success and
make sure that we continue that on
winning about the team. You don't try to make Trevor. He didn't even do that at Clemson. He never threw it 40 times that many times at Clemson. Like, come on.
I think we're really missing Travis Etienne in that LaVisca role, though.
That's the NFL. I mean, you got guys go down, next guy comes in, another guy comes in. So it's our job to get him up to speed as fast as we can. Unfortunately, it's a short week, so he got here, last night. So we've already started. He's.
Anyway, it sounds like they're talking about Dan Arnold, but I mean, he's got to figure it out, man. Use what you got, man. Use your personnel. Like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, just run. You know what I mean? It's not that difficult of an offense to run, dog. Like, you got a good offensive line. Like, that's why I said I don't want to hear anything else about your O line, bro. Like, they said Trevor was I think he's like in the top 10. They said something this morning as far as against the blitz, the O line against the blitz, top 10, bro, in the league. You're not getting pressured. You're just making bad decisions, bro. You making bad decisions.
Right.
You're not getting pressured. You barely been sacked through 3 games. So like that's when you think about he's got 7 7 picks, right? And then you're like, damn, like he's got to be getting sacked. He's got to be doing, making all these different factors have to be factoring in. No, he's just making bad reads, trying to force the ball.
You know, and I mean, I would say like the frustrating thing about our offense, like our offense is like the only offense in the NFL that doesn't look competent. Like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody could get 2 or 3 first downs on a given drive, and we're struggling. And I think just finding that good mix of play calling, like you said, run the ball especially, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence has never had to carry an offense. He's going back to college wise, because again, like I said before, Travis Etienne was the guy that won ACC Player of the Year 3 times, not Trevor Lawrence. So they relied a lot on Travis Etienne, both as a runner and as a receiver, and he never really had to make guys great or made anybody better. Like if you even think about the Clemson receivers, like who did he really make better? Who did he elevate to a new status? You can't really say anyone. And you kind of saw that as well last year when Justin Ross was out with Clemson. He kind of, he struggled. He didn't look good in the playoff because he needs quality guys as opposed to him being able to elevate a guy that he's.
I can't say that, bro. I can't say that only because you see what Clemson is now. Clemson doesn't have they're not dearth of talent, bro. They got
because
5 stars.
They don't have a running back. They don't have a Travis Etienne. That's what I'm saying. Like if you compare him to
their running backs running good though. Shipley's been running good for them.
Shipley's trash compared to Etienne. He won't get. I guarantee he won't go first round or second round. As far as what Travis meant to that, he won't win ACC Player of the Year. Like the 3-time ACC Player of the Year is a huge feat, and to do that while you share the backfield with Trevor Lawrence shows, to me at least, that the type of talent he has, as opposed to like a Andrew Luck. We can't name any receivers that Andrew Luck played with. But he was consistently winning. He consistently had good seasons. He consistently was a top quarterback in the country. Same thing with, even Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards, and outside of maybe Jakeem Grant, we can't really name any other receivers that played at Texas Tech. So that's what I mean as far as being able to elevate the talent.
But Patrick Mahomes didn't have that. Patrick Mahomes didn't have that much success at Texas Tech though.
As far as passing,
because he was a shock when he was a top 10 pick.
But to throw for 5,000 yards in college football is a hell of a feat. It ain't too many people have done that even since then in that offense. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. We can't name any receivers he played with. None of them are NFL guys. He won the Heisman at Louisville. So that's what I mean as far as you have certain guys that elevate the talent that's around them. And I don't think Trevor has ever been that type of guy. It's not a knock. I think he's talented, but I don't think he elevated the talent around him like the class of quarterbacks that they want to put him in my opinion, at least.
I think there's still a lot to be determined with him for sure. Let's. I just want to see real quick before we wrap, just to kind of see what he had to say about
in the game plan.
This past
everything that's in the game
week.
plan is fair game, so you're just ready for it whenever. And on plays like that, it's tough because when it works, it's the best call ever, and when it doesn't, it's like, oh, why'd you call? So it's like. Just got to execute it, but I thought it was a good call in the situation and didn't execute it. And then for me, it's just on plays like that, instead of making a bad play worse, throw it away. Live with it. It's all right. Don't try to force it. So, but yeah, no, that was just one of our plays that we have in kind of all the time. But some games we'll use it, or it'll be in the plan, and sometimes it's not.
There was a big narrative this week about the rookie quarterbacks because everybody kind of struggled at the same time. When you were coming into this season, did you, in your own mind, think about that? Hey, I'm going to go through some growing pains, or do you?
I think Trevor's really unbothered, bro. To be honest,
just prepare the best way you can, and don't even worry about potential.
He's like, look, I'm going to figure this shit out, man. He's like,
yeah, I didn't think about it too much. Obviously, you have some thoughts like, not everything's going to go perfect. It never does. Didn't in college. it went really well in my career, but it was never perfect. I had my struggles, so. You always are aware of that, and that's going to happen. But I don't think that's what you should focus on. You got to focus on just being your best and just being prepared. And I feel like I have been prepared. Obviously, I haven't played as well as I've wanted to up until this point, but I feel like I'm getting better. I know I'm prepared each week, and that's really all I can do. And I know I'm getting there. So, yeah. But no, to your point, I don't really before the season think this is going to be really tough year where it's gonna, So I don't really have those thoughts. No.
What's your relationship with Joe Burrow? How often have you guys met or talked?
Yeah, I mean, I've met him one time at the Manning camp 3 summers ago, maybe. It was actually the summer before we played the national championship, and that was the only time I've really, met him or talked to him. But then after the game, congratulated him. They beat us in New Orleans. I don't know him super well. I got 2 teammates that play with him, so. And those guys like him. So, but yeah, I mean, he's a great player.
Trevor been in a lot of big games, bro. I almost forgot they lost that game.
Completely different.
To Clemson. You know what I'm saying? I forgot
like,
LSU beat Clemson to win.
We just played 2 days ago, and usually today's our off day, so just everything's faster. But just getting in as much as you can. Try to do the same things you do in a normal week. You can't do them as long as far as preparation.
I went to the when I went to the
first, second down,
the game,
red zone, all that stuff. You just have to be a lot more efficient with your time. You can't.
When they played the
breaking
Broncos,
all those down. So
I saw all his people were like down by the touchdown
club, a
club,
lot longer,
just like
sitting.
You know what I mean? Like his wife and he had his whole family there for that game. That sucks.
Either maybe when the schedule came out, you saw you'd have a Thursday night game on, hey, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and anybody.
Bro, you just realize how young they is, bro. His wife looked like she was like
19,
not
really. I mean,
bro.
some of the guys on the team, obviously, that have played for a while. We've talked about
he's on the 21, right?
Crazy.
Trying to figure out as this thing's gone on, like after the game, this past game, what the schedule's going to be like for the next few days, and I feel like we have a good plan, and it's really hard as a player, playing on Sunday than Thursday. But we're gonna be ready, so we're excited.
Did you have any quick terms like this in college at all? Did you guys play like Thursday night games like this?
I don't think we played a Thursday. We played a Friday. So
I think they're
Saturday,
starting to
Friday,
understand because you're starting to see them run more every week, right? And then finally, I think you got to find like your medium. You know what I mean? In this game, like you ran it. You gave him 15 carries. You said, Desmond, last game. So I think
the biggest strides.
I think you gotta run him more.
Yeah, I think I've gotten better at getting through all my progressions this past
that way
week.
you play action, Chark them eat off of play action, bro. Like, that's where you're able to get deep.
I think I was more accurate. Those are 2 things I said.
Yeah, because I mean you can't see
just accuracy and getting through progressions. I thought were a lot better this past week. Yeah, I would say those are the biggest things.
Is it really hard to have a long list or to have a goal of getting better at a lot of things during the season because it's so week to week,
I think it's important just to not overcomplicate it. Have one thing that, whether that's taking care of the ball, accuracy, footwork, time clock in the pocket, just having one thing though, like a day that you really are focusing on. That's what I've tried to do because you have enough to think about with the new game plan going in every week and trying to get on the same page with all the receivers and O-line on protection calls that are changing this week and all that. So I just try to pick one thing. Last week, some of them were just like simple eyes, quick reads, and that was one thing I worked on all week, and I really feel like it helped me. So that's really what I try to do.
What stands out to you with this Bengals?
Just a little bit from Trevor, man. It sounds like he's not getting too high, he's not getting too low, and I think that's one of the things that I do. I'm encouraged by with him is that he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low, and I think when you have a guy like that in your locker room, like you could tell he's, you know what I mean? You could just tell he's been there before. He's got that air about him, like, we're going to be all right. We'll figure it out. And he's not letting the losses affect him. I know it probably burns the crap out of him, but he's not letting it affect, like whether he's going to be super this way or super that way. He's going to stay right in the middle, keep working and figure out what you can do in this league and when to do it and what not to do. So, but yeah, man, let's move on. Let's finish out with predictions, man. Scores. What we got for this week? Jaguars, Bengals.
I'm gonna say 27-19 Bengals.
Yeah, I was gonna say 27-17 Bengals.
Okay, 27-17 Bengals. I'm gonna give you guys. We're gonna go 24-21 Jaguars on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I think it'll definitely be an interesting game, though. It'll be pretty close, I think, early, and then I think second half is really who you see who comes out with it.
Can I just say I really did like Joe Cullen's game plan last week, though. I did. Because
He
for
did
the
a good
most,
job.
yeah, he
containing
did.
Kyler.
He did for the most part. You did like the score was not indicative of how the game actually went. I think late it got carried away with mistakes, with rookie mistakes. I mean, I think any other team in the league closes out that game. You know what I mean? You do what you got to do to close out the game. And I think because they hadn't been there, like they were kind of happy-go-lucky. They hadn't been there, yet. It's still a young team from the quarterback standpoint. Trevor's closed out plenty of games, but by a wide margin. When it's close like that, you run the football, you make the throws that are there, you keep the chains moving. And maybe even you get a big shot downfield, right? But I think that game when it got down to crunch time, late in the third, early fourth, I think they just started to panic a little bit and didn't know how to really close out the game. I get the flea flicker on its face. I get like what they were trying to do because the guy was open down the field, but look at where you're at on the field. You know what I mean? For it to go bad, if it was going to go bad, I mean, maybe you try that at midfield, but you don't try that on your own like 10-yard line. Like that's not good. Not good field position. But yeah, man. So that's the stream for today. Did you guys got anything else before we go?
Yeah, I had a bold prediction. Trevor's not going to have any turnovers tonight.
Ooh, I like that.
I think he actually impresses in a loss, but I just don't think we have enough offense right now.
Okay.
That'll definitely help because on the pace he's on, the turnovers are really bad. I just went and looked at kind of his season stats right now. He did a much better job last game. His completion percentage was at 64.7, 22 of 34. So I think if they can have a similar game plan, you have a shot there to possibly have some low turnovers. But
Chuck said 24-17 Jags, baby. I like it.
Yeah. I love to see them win. They need a win. I think they need a win for this. Sunshine is from California. They need a win for real. I think because if you don't in this first quarter of the season, going into that second quarter, it's going to be hard, especially for Urban Meyer to keep the team bought in.
Yeah.
As losses keep piling up, because then it's going to be the whole college coach can't do it stuff. Can he keep the team together? What's Trevor Lawrence doing? You're ruining Trevor Lawrence. So once the talk starts to heat up, that's when you really see what you're made of. So.
And Dan, this is nothing against Dan Arnold. Dan Arnold was actually he's been good this season, really good for Carolina. But I think a lot of that has come off of play action for Sam Darnold, and they've used tight end screens and they've done different things to get him open. I don't really know how good he is. I don't know what Dan Arnold is. What is Dan Arnold?
I think it's just
common man with two first names.
Yeah, because I think Tommy Tremble.
No more Darnold to Arnold.
Yeah, I believe Tommy Tremble, the rookie, kind of took his spot.
Yeah. I think it was just an offer they couldn't refuse. They made him an offer they couldn't refuse.
And they just lost. J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn just got injured, so they needed.
I felt that for him, dude, so bad. I felt like it was a homeboy that when he got hurt, dog. I was like, dang. Yeah, I said, J.C. been in they grill. J.C. been giving them boys pressure. You know what I'm saying?
He's been doing great. He been giving. That's why I think CJ is going to slot right in. So they have similar play styles.
Yeah,
he's not as physical and as aggressive, but I think as far as his coverage skills.
Yeah, CJ has the makeup speed. He has what you're looking for. I think JC just he was just different, bro. You know what I mean? He's just a different athlete, and different mentality. I think too. I'd like to see a little bit more from CJ in that part. But yeah, man. All right, so we got a good slate tonight, man. We got Jags Bengals. I know everybody will be watching. I said, just don't stink up the place, man. Jeez Louise. That's all I'm gonna ask. And I know Desmond gonna be sitting there laughing if they do stink it up. Desmond gonna be like,
I have no beef with the Jags, man.
Yeah,
I like to see them do good because when they do good, the city's in a good vibe and a good.
Yeah, man.
But I just don't trust Urban Meyer, to be honest.
I don't either, man. I don't like. The coaching is very. Joe Cullen, he redeemed himself last week. I feel like, just with what he did last week, I really like what he did, and I think if he translate I think he's starting to figure out his personnel. I think he's starting to figure out his personnel and how they work. Can we give some love to Andrew Wingard though before we go?
Hey,
Andrew Wingard is a baller, bro. He's a baller. I can see why he's probably their best safety, dog. And he's been good. I don't think he hasn't really gotten an opportunity to play, you know what I mean, that in that role, but like dude come down and hit. He's good over the top. I mean, I think he's got to play a little bit better, but I think last week was actually his first week like starting, right? His first full start. And did he have a pick? I think he had a pick, right? Yeah. So I mean, if you start to see more, I like how he plays, man. He has a little bit of Palomalu in him. I feel like just in that you know, kind of with how he plays. But I like him. I just had to give him some shout out, man. Give Dewey some love, dog. But all right,
It's been a good day.
We'll see y'all. We appreciate it, and we out. Go Jags.